The getting started or strategy session. Let me tell you right up front, you have to do this for your new people. Likewise, they're all going to say, no, I'm fine, I know what I'm doing, thanks, but don't worry about it. No. If they make a commitment to you and to us to join with you and us, then you owe them the best possible start. Yes, they've joined Unicity, but they've also joined you. And if for no other reason, you want to give them the best possible start so that you can remove their excuses. So that when they are successful, full credit to them and you as the team, maybe if perchance they aren't as successful as they wish they were, they can't blame you because you did everything you could with and for them. Slightly negative, I know, but it frames the necessity of this particular session. You want to do this session within the first 48, certainly 72 hours of them starting. And I give people some homework or pre-homework in preparation for that. I ask them to begin to build their Who Knows Me list, as well as begin to ponder on, well, what are my goals? What am I trying to achieve? Neither of those can be fully finished or polished before this session, but I give them that pre-homework for two reasons. One, to make the session more productive and we can polish them and make them better. And two, to gauge their actual seriousness. If they come with some degree of effort demonstrated by some of that pre-homework done, then I know they're going to take this pretty seriously. It's a good indicator for me. If they come, oh yeah, I meant to, and I'm sorry I didn't, doesn't mean they're not going to be successful. It's just good data that I log away and say, okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit more work here to inspire them and to help them out. So that's my pre-homework before this session. You've said you want to join me? Great. When in the next 48 hours would work for you and I to sit down for 75 minutes, and you can do it in that time frame, maybe 90 to start with until you get better at it, for us to sit down face-to-face and go through a getting started strategy session. We play calendar, we get the time logged down, and then I say, great. In preparation for that, can you do two things for us? Note the language here. One, give thought to your goals. Why are you doing this? What are you about? What are we trying to achieve here? Those can be health or economic or relationship, whatever they may be. Now, they're not going to be able to do great goals because they don't know all they need to know to set those goals and have the full context, but at least they can get started. And then I give them a 30-second overview of the Who Knows Me list. I want you to start pondering on the people that know you and what issues you perceive they have or you've heard or you're aware of that you think we've got the solution for together with their contact details. And maybe give them that worksheet so they can go to work on that. Again, I'm measuring them, and I'm also trying to make that time when we do get together more productive. Then when we get together, we go through 10 things. 5 in what I call the first half, or the sharpening the pencil stage, getting ready to get going. And then 5 in they're actually starting to move now and actually use that pencil. Number 1, I review their goals with them. Okay, why are you here? What are you looking to achieve? And then we refine that. As we discuss what we are able to offer, what we do, what we don't do, we can begin to build some focus and some granularity to those goals. That's where I start. Then I start looking at, well, what's the plan? If that's your goal, if you're going to do X or you want to get Y, then what have we got to do? What are some of the activities we need to engage in? What are some of the to-do list items? And I speak about that conceptually because we get to that in more detail later on. Number 3, I then visit their list. So, okay, let's look at your list. Let's talk about John and Susan and Barry and whoever else. Start talking about individual people and talk about more particularly that issue that they have that we have the solution for. Maybe role play with them a little bit about how they will approach those people. Then I say, okay, great, new person. When are you going to do all this? What time of the day or what day of the week? What are your office hours? Like, well, I never thought of that. Well, great. Well, what are they going to be? Are they going to be every evening from 5:30 to 7? Are they going to be every other day? Are they going to be Monday, Wednesday, Saturday morning? Plan your time. Any other business, you'd have office hours where the door is unlocked or the light is turned on. Likewise here. It's not a random event. You have set times that you want to dedicate, and those around you know you are dedicating to your business. Make a note of those and have them think that through a little bit. And then the 5th one of the getting ready start is to learn the tools. Here's this website for that. Here's this website for this. Here's a phone number here. Here's a Facebook group. What is the aggregation of tools that you're going to need access to so that they can begin to do some of maybe their own research as they go forward. What you do is you're setting them up to, one, understand clearly in their own mind what they're trying to do and achieve and why, and then demonstrate to them there's a toolbox here that they can have access to help build as we go forward. That's the first part. Now the second part. I teach them the math or the pattern. And it's quite simply this. The number of invitations to look at who we are and what we're about that you extend per day will lead to that number of presentations or attendees at events per week. Will lead to that same number of people joining you, and they will almost always join you as you started per month. If I extend 2 invitations per day, I'm going to give 2 presentations per week. I'm going to have 2 people join me as I started per month. That is the baseline rule of thumb, rough algebra. Now, I teach that to them to set expectations. One, so that they know that they've got to keep this daily rhythm going so they can get the weekly results, so they can get the measurable monthly result. So they don't get depressed after 2 or 3 days when no one's agreed to see their presentation or watch a video. I go through that math and I use some of the names in their list, that's why it was done previously, to demonstrate how that would work. So if we extend an invitation to Bob and Susie and then Bob and whoever tomorrow, expect from those 10 people, Monday to Friday, to give 2 presentations. Who do you think it'll most likely be? Then I make an introduction to the team or the upline. I give them my details, don't have them already. I give them my upline mentors' details, and for me, amongst all the other qualifications of mentorship is at least director, senior director, and above. Who's that person that has that rank or above that I work with personally that I want them to have access to as well? Again, we're creating this them, you, and me working together environment, 3 people working in concert. I make those introductions and get those details to them. And then we look at orders. Now we're starting to do something here. I've explained to them, well, they know what their goals are. I've explained some of the mathematics. What are some of the goals for this month? Always a goal for me, for them, is to make manager. So I say, great, our goal in this month is to make manager. How are we going to do that? We can buy it or build it, and we go through that. And I usually show them the comp plan using a build it methodology. I prefer to use a 250-point model, me doing 250 plus 3 others doing 250. We build it from there and away we go. That allows me to demonstrate how the plan begins to operate at the front end more cleanly and more clearly without them being distracted by, oh, I can't do that. I can't go and spend that amount of money up front. It's a lower level one that demonstrates the plan. And then I say, well, now imagine if you bought a manager pack and those same people who are going to do what you did do that same thing. Look at the power of the plan here. That's the second time I'm going through it. They understand it better. I've already got them through the resistance of how the plan works and the algebra of it, and the penny begins to drop in terms of the power of buying or building, and they can make an informed choice of how they want to go forward. And then we place the orders, or the order. Then I give them an idea of how to get plugged in. What's the frequency of what goes on? What are the conference calls? What are the meetings? What are the touch bases? And this is where I say to them, look, I'm going to follow up with you, new person, every day. And you're not going to like me. Because every day I'm going to ask you, have you sent out your 2 invitations? Have you done this? Have you done that? I'm going to do that for you because I want you to achieve the goals that we have set. Interestingly, I always make sure I'm there when the goals are set because then I can talk about the goals as being our goals. Because guarantee you, at some point in the next few weeks, they're going to say, this is too hard, I can't do it, I'm lost. And I need to be able to say to them, no, I promised you that I would help you achieve our goals. Let's keep going forward. I also say I'm going to follow up with you every day, like I said, and I always do that at the same time every day. Now, it may vary, it may be a phone call, maybe a text, maybe a direct message, but it always arrives at, say, 3 o'clock. Hey, how you doing? Where you at? Did you extend your 2 invitations? Did you follow up on the previous 2? What you say, what they say? Diagnose it a little bit. And we push through that difficult phase. Here's what happens by doing it at the same time every day. if you're used to receiving a text or a phone call from me around 3 o'clock every day, and all of a sudden something good happens in the morning, what are you going to do? You're going to reach out to me and say, hey, Aaron, guess what? I extended the invitation, they accepted, I gave the presentation, and they want to get in. When I, as the upline, get that proactive communication to me before my set time of following up with them, then I know the message is sinking in and things are happening. So I get them plugged in, and I set expectations, and I let them know what I'm going to do in support of them and have them have that expectation of me. And then I return and report. Then I, with them, call that mentor and say, hey, mentor person, I'm sitting here with new person, and I've just gone through the getting started session. I want to let you know that we've completed it. I want to let you know that I've given them your contact details and let them know that you're happy to receive their call or email anytime you want. You're making these connections so that it's not just a name and a phone number or an email address. You've actually spoken to someone, and that mentor has said, hey, welcome, new person. Welcome to the team. I'm here for you. Just what Aaron says. I'm happy to do it. Opportunities for that person to validate me and me to validate them and begin to build this positive relationship in where we're at. Again, that meeting should take no more than 75 minutes. You can get it down to even less, but you don't want to feel rushed. You owe it to your people to do that for them. You can see if you go through those 10 steps how productively they're set up, how the likelihood of them engaging in productive things, particularly with your diligent follow-up, and their feeling confident to do those basic things goes up exponentially. And the way they start is the way they'll continue. And the more you follow up, the more diligent and consistent and constant they will be, and your business and their business will grow together.